Let's close our chapter on MIDI by talking about importing, exporting, and MIDI real-time properties. So I have an empty session here. I'm going to import. We do it at the same place we do audio. It's just the next thing down there. So there's MIDI. I'm going to import this file. And before I hit open, I want to point out the file size here. It's a song. It's got lots of parts, kick, snare, lots of drum parts, and some synth parts, and it's only 49K. I mean, that's smaller than an email because all it really has is sequence information, a bunch of notes. There's no audio in it, no patch information. MIDI files are very small, so they're very efficient, and we can use them in smartphones and gaming and things where file size is really important. Open this, and ProTools says, well, do you want all these things I'm about to import in a track, or do you want them in the clip list? If I put them in the clip list and I pick them up and drag them to the timeline, ProTools will build a track one at a time. Actually, it's more efficient to have it do it this way. And I'm going to hit start it at the session start. And there are all the parts. And so it's just imported that 49K file. It did remember that the MIDI file is a multi-track format, and it knew the kick from the snare from the hat and so forth. So now let's say we want to export this MIDI. We go to the File menu, Export, MIDI, and then Apply Real-Time Properties. Let's take a look. In the Event menu are MIDI real-time properties. At any point in any one of these clips, I could quantize something or change the duration. These real-time properties are something that ProTools will do as it's playing the MIDI data, but it actually isn't processing it. I can select one clip. Let me get this smart tool. I can select this and then apply it to that clip or any other clip that I select, or I can do the entire MIDI file. It will do a velocity change, a transposition, and remember, the keyword here is real time. It's going to do it while it plays it. It's going to process it, but it's not actually transforming or changing the data in the file unless you hit write to clip, or when you're exporting, you choose apply real-time properties. Here, it will leave the original file alone, but apply whatever you've selected in that window to the export that you're doing. Now, eventually, when ProTools gets the cloud up and running and we're all using it, the idea is that your session data lives on that cloud and you can collaborate with people easily. They can download what they need and upload what they contribute, and you'll have it immediately or soon. And that's the promise of the cloud. In the meantime, MIDI is pretty handy for when you want to send a colleague a part, have them add something to it, and then send it back. So assuming it's not an audio part like a saxophone or a drum part, assuming it's a programming type thing like a keyboard part or maybe a synth part, that colleague can send you a MIDI file. You'll then connect that MIDI file with the appropriate sound, and it'll be like you're in the room together. MIDI files are so small, you can just attach them to an email, and they'll be opened by your colleague with whatever program they're using. Any sequencing program can work with a MIDI file.